Welcome everyone to Wednesday. It is the 18th day of May 2022. Your Day with the Podcast brought to you by Cowboy State Daily, Wyoming's news authority. Check them out at cowboystatedaily.com or on their Facebook page. Well, folks, as we take a look at what's coming, we really don't have anything changing in terms of what we've been discussing this week in terms of this cold front. We have another warm day coming. There'll be a few thunderstorms, mainly in the southern areas, meaning Colorado, parts of Kansas, down into parts of the Midwest, but the northern areas will see probably just a warm, somewhat breezy day. Then the cold front will move in fast and furious Thursday. We're going to have high winds ahead of the front. They're going to be brief, thankfully, but we're going to have a lot of wind ahead of the front in central and southern Wyoming and parts of Colorado and Utah in particular as it moves through. So we got to be ready for that. Then rain, snow, and thunder will be developing with the front late Thursday, overnight Thursday into Friday. We're still looking at freezing temperatures in the northern areas tonight, Friday night and Saturday night for areas farther south. Gardeners, you're going to need to prepare. We're going below freezing in many areas, especially Friday and Saturday night. So if you have tender plants, you'll need to cover them up, bring them inside. Hate to say it. Now, it's going to be cool through the weekend with some showers. The temperatures are going to be well below average through the weekend, really not warming up until the middle of next week. So despite this little burst of warmth here this week, we're going to hit a stretch of some pretty cool weather for a while, and some mountain areas are going to see some significant snow, especially in Colorado. Here's the upper level low. You can see it very well defined as a nice swirl right here, just off of British Columbia, Vancouver Island area right here. And it is showing along here the frontal boundary. Now remember, when we have these cold fronts like this, you always look at the source region of where the colder air is coming from. The source region of colder air is coming right from there, behind it. And you can see it on the upper level chart very well with that high pressure building and growing north, displacing that colder air and having it come south. But during the day today, mild westerly flow off the Pacific and off the desert states will make most of the USA today pretty darn mild. By tomorrow at noon, this is noon mountain time tomorrow, the front makes big progress, south and east, and the cold front is going to be right along this boundary right here by noon tomorrow. And all the cold air is right here behind it, and it's going one direction, and that is south, even a little southwest into parts of Washington and Oregon State. As we look our way into Friday, through Monday night, the trough swings in as the high pressure builds up in the Gulf of Alaska. So really, this is nothing different than what we've been showing you over the last couple of days. The models are in very good agreement with this system. The main low is up over Hudson Bay, but trailing behind it is a big pocket of colder air, this coming in from the northwest. So as we get into the weekend, this is by Saturday afternoon, the trough is just kind of settling in and not really moving very much. So that allows the cold air to penetrate further south, further east into the United States. So most of the USA is going to experience a change with this front to colder weather conditions. Let's take a look at what will happen with temperatures. And this is where it gets really obvious to see what's going on. These are temperatures by afternoon across the Intermountain West. All the orange showing above average temperatures here for another day, very warm in California, but you can see the green and blue here coming into the Pacific Northwest. So this is by tomorrow afternoon. So we've got a good warm day coming up today. This is by 6 p.m. Thursday. So 6 p.m. Thursday, the real contrast with the front is getting down to it's just getting down to Interstate 80 is what it's doing by sundown or just around or before that sundown time frame on Friday, with the push of colder air heading into the northern plains. And really the only thing slowing up the front is the higher terrain of the central Rockies and the mountains of southern Wyoming as it comes through. You can see it trying to climb into the higher terrain, but getting down out into the plains a little bit more. So look at the contrast in temperatures from here to up here by late tomorrow afternoon and evening. Then the front races through. These are the wind gusts. This is by noon Thursday. So the winds are going to get started pretty early Thursday. You can see the Interstate 80 corridor is going to get hard with some very high wind gusts, especially I-25 and I-80 in Wyoming. There'll be some very strong winds, but notice the strong winds also stretch back into Idaho and along Interstate 80 across Utah and on the way to Wendover. As we get into Thursday afternoon, there's a southerly shift of the wind, and that's because the front's moving south very quickly. But we're also going to have some strong winds up across central Montana as well. The strong winds are going to be transitory, brief, but intense. Then as the cold air pours in, you can see this by Friday morning. The cold front is going down, headed towards Amarillo. It is through all of the central and northern Rockies and moving through the northern plains and pushing along very, very quickly. And you can see the colder weather about ready to get into Las Vegas as well. By Friday afternoon, this is for 6 p.m. on Friday. You can see a big splotch of purple here across the central Rockies. The colder air continues to push east, and all of the northern plains, all of the west, really cooling off. This is what the precipitation map looks like with this storm system through Tuesday morning. And here's some really good news for Colorado. This is going to be a good rain and snow event for Colorado. Good in the sense it needs moisture badly. Many areas of eastern Colorado in particular. The high country of Colorado looks to be very good. Only far southwestern Colorado really going to miss out on this system. This area right here is going to have a very wet period of time, basically from late tomorrow night, Friday, and lingering shower activity into the weekend. Some pretty good precipitation into the northern areas as well, but it does look like Colorado finally is going to get some badly needed precipitation. Now, it's going to be in the mountains of central and northern Colorado, some very significant late May snow that could be quite heavy. But let's keep our fingers and toes crossed. Even parts of New Mexico here have a chance this weekend into early next week to get some badly needed rain. That would be great news. As we told you yesterday, the computer modeling is over forecasting the snow most likely. However, you have to take this seriously when you look at the potential for the snow getting very far out onto the plains. Now, as you get out into the plains, this is going to be a wet snow that is going to have a hard time sticking because of the very warm temperatures we have now. The ground temperatures will be warm, so there's going to be a lot of melting. But if you get up a little bit higher, especially as you get above 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 feet or so, there's going to be several inches of heavy, wet spring snow falling in the mountains of southern Wyoming and central and northern Colorado, then back across the Intermountain West with the system. Whether or not we end up with snowflakes this far east out into the plains, we'll see, but I would not be surprised if at least there's some mix or a brief changeover. Then here we go with temperatures. Now, these are the forecasted low temperatures for Friday morning. So across northern Wyoming here, across parts of Montana, you can see we've got some freezing temperatures or near freezing temperatures getting all the way down into the northern valleys of Colorado and the high valleys of Wyoming. As we get into Saturday morning, look how cold these temperatures are. We've got mid-20s down to near the Palmer Divide in Colorado. We've got lower 30s in western Nebraska, the Dakotas, and then you can see the higher terrain. You're looking at some really cold temperatures here where you see the pink and those purple temperatures. That's where it's going to be really the coldest. That's Saturday morning. This is Sunday morning. Sunday morning, there could be a large area of below freezing temperatures in these pink areas right here. So we've got 3 nights, especially 2, Friday and Saturday night, to get through. I don't think we've got a hard enough freeze coming to worry about sprinkler systems, but certainly plants. Gardeners, you're going to have to cover things up or bring them in. By Monday afternoon, the trough is dissipating, but notice the trough is still kind of hanging around. That's going to keep us cool. By Wednesday and Thursday of next week, we go back to a mild zonal flow again. So it's really not going to be until probably Tuesday or Wednesday of next week before temperatures go back closer to average. So be prepared, folks. We're going to see quite the change in the weather here over the next 24 to 36 hours.